students, welcome to my channel. I am your teacher Totchie, and I am here to develop your problem solving and critical thinking skills. For today's video, I will be discussing the measure of possession for ungrouped data. As we go on through our discussion, let us read first our lesson for objective for us to be guided in this topic. At the end of this video, you should be able to illustrate the different measures of possession for ungrouped data. Calculate the different measures of possession using Mendenhall and Sinsich method, the quartiles, deciles, and the percentiles. Interpret and apply the different measures of possession in real-life situation. Ano nga bang tinatawag na measures of possessions? Or how do we define measures of possession? When we say measures of possession, these are techniques that divides the data into equal groups. Also, we have different kind of measures of possession. One of them has been already discussed to you when we are in grade 7 under measures of central tendency, which is the median. The median is also considered a measures of possession since it's divide the data into exactly two equal parts. Other type of measures of possession are quartiles, deciles, and the percentiles, which we'll be learning for today's video. By definition, quartiles are the score points which divide a distribution into four equal parts. Let's try to look at the figure. Meron tayong Q1 or Q sub 1, which is also known as the lower quartile, and it has equivalent of 25%. And we have also quartile 2 or Q sub 2. We also known as the middle quartile, which is equivalent to 50%. Si quartile 2 ay sim lang ng value kay median ng measure of central tendency. And then you have also your Q3 or Q sub 3, also known as the upper quartile, which is equivalent of 75%. And remember, Q2 or Q sub 2 is equal to median of measure of central tendency. Okay, the next measure of possession is deciles. Kung si quartile ay hinahati niya ang distribution into 4 equal parts, si decile naman are the score points which divide the distribution into 10 equal parts. So in this figure, we have here decile 1, which is equivalent of 10%. So from 0 to 10, this is decile 1. And we have here decile 2 equivalent of 20%, and decile 3 equivalent of 30%, decile 4 equivalent of 40%, and up to 100%. Now, take a look to our decile 5. Decile 5 is equivalent of 50%. That means decile 5 is the same with the second quartile or Q sub 2 and the median of measure of central tendency. And lastly, we have these percentiles. Kung si quartiles divide the distribution into 4 equal parts, at si decile divides distribution into 10 equal parts, si percentile naman are the score points which divide the distribution into 100 equal parts. In this case, we have percentile 1 up to percentile 100. So let us say, for example, we are looking for percentile 7 of our distribution. Percentile 7 is equivalent to 7%. So in this figure, percentile 10 is equivalent to 10%, percentile 20 is equivalent to 20%, percentile 30 is equivalent to 30%, percentile 40 is equivalent to 40%, up to percentile 100. But take note, percentile 50 is equivalent to 50%. That means percentile 50 is the same with the decile 5 and quartile 2, as well as the median from the measure of central tendency. Meron tayong tatlong method in solving measures of possession. The first one is by using the general method. And the second is by using the interpolation method. And the last one, which we'll be discussing for today's video, is the Mendenhall and Sausage method. These are the formulas that we will be using for today's video. If we're looking for the possession of quartiles, we will be using the formula QK is equals K over 4 times the quantity of n plus 1, or QK equals K times the quantity of n plus 1 over 4. If we're looking for the possession of deciles, we will be using for the formulas dk equals K over 10 times the quantity of n plus 1, or dk equals K times the quantity of n plus 1 all over 10. And lastly, if we are to locate the possession of percentiles, we will be using the formulas pk equals K over 100 times the quantity of n plus 1, or pk equals K times the quantity of n plus 1 over 100. To solve for the measure of possession for n-group data using Mendenhall and Sausage method, we need to follow the following rules. Like what I've said earlier, si quartile 2, si decile 5, si percentile 50 are all equal to each other because these scores are located at the middle of the distribution. Looking at the figure, we notice that the possession of decile 1, quartile 1, percentile 40, all of that scores are less than 50%. If we're looking for the measures of possession which is less than 50%, and those scores are located at the left side of the data, if the value of the possession we have computed has a decimal in it, we will round up the number. Let us say, for example, we have computed is 4.2. That means ang position na ilulocate natin ay 5 kasi i-round up natin siya. In other hand, kung ang computed value naman natin ay 4.6, that means ang ilulocate pa rin nating value ng position ay 5. How about we try to compute the measures of possession that is located at the right side of the data, where the scores is greater than 50%. Let's say, for example, we computed decile 6, which is equivalent of 60%. Quartile 3, equivalent to 75%. Percentile 90, equivalent to 90%. So kung yun ang case na isosolve natin, or ang hahanapin natin possession ay greater than 50%, at yung computed value naman natin ay may decimal number na kasama, ang gagawin naman natin sa kanya ay i-round down natin yung computed number. Let us say, for example, 4.2. That means ang possession na ilulukit natin ay 4. Since i-round down natin siya. At kung 4.6 naman, that means ang possession na ilulukit pa rin natin ay 4, since we are computing right side of the data or greater than 50%. Okay, again, when we computing from the left side of the data or of a measure of possession using Mendenhall and Sausage method, if the value is less than 50% and has a decimal in it, we round up the value. In other hand, if we are computing from the right side of the data of measure possession using Mendenhall and Sausage method, if the value is greater than 50% and has a decimal in it, we round down the value. So those are the rules when we computing the measure possession using Mendenhall and Sausage method. Okay, let's have our first examples. These are the scores of 12 students from grade 10 Eagle in their statistic quiz. So we have 9, 3, 2, 15, 4, 11, 20, 13, 10, 18, 17, and 6. First thing to do is arrange the number in ascending order, meaning to say, arrange the number from lowest to scores to highest scores. Then solve for the measure position. So we have 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17, 18, 20. Okay, our data is already arranged from lowest to highest scores. Let's try to solve the value of quartile 1, decile 6, and percentile 12. Let's compute first the quartile 1. And to solve the location of quartile 1, we will be use the formula QK equals K times the quantity of n plus 1 all over 4. And after this, we will be simplifying the equation. So we have Q1 equals 1 times the quantity of 12 plus 1 all over 12. So 12 plus 1 is equals 13, and 13 times 1 is equal to 13 all over 4, or divide 4. So we have Q1 equals 3.25. Now, applying the Mendenhall and Sensich method, since we are looking for the quartile 1, and we all know that quartile 1 is equal to 25%, and 25% is less than 50%, then the quartile 1 is located at the left side of the distribution. Meaning to say, ang 3.25 na sagot natin ay i-round up natin, kaya naging 4 ang ating sagot. So, the position of quartile 1 is pang-4th ng ating scores. Ngayon, bibilangin lang natin ang data from left side, from left to right. So, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, ang pang-4th na data, ang pang-4th na number na score sa ating data ay 6. Kung i-interpret natin ang ating answer or ang ating sagot, 25 of the scores are less than or equal to 6. Okay, next, we try to solve the location of D6. To look the position of D6 or decile 6, we need to use the formula dk or d sub k equals k times the quantity of n plus 1 all over 10. We use 10 because the decile divides the distribution into 10 equal parts. Now, by substituting the value of k, which is 6, because we are looking for the location of decile 6 or d sub 6, we have d sub 6 is equal 6 times the quantity of 12 plus 1 all over 10. And 12 is already given from our data, the 12 students who took off their statistic quiz. And after this, we will be simplifying the equation. So we have d sub 6 equals 6 times 12 plus 1 divide 10. 12 plus 1 is 13. So 6 times 13 is 78. Divide by 10. We have d sub 6 equals 7.8. Now, applying the Mendenhall and the Sensich method, since we are looking for the decile 6, and we all know that decile 6 is equivalent of 60%, and 60% is greater than 50%, then decile 6 is located at the right side of the distribution. Meaning to say, ang 7.8 na sagot natin ay i-round natin, kaya naging 7 na lang ang ating sagot. So, ang pang 7 na scores ay 11. Now, kung i-interpret naman natin ang ating answer, 60% of the scores are less than or equal 11. And last, we solve the location of percentile 12. To look the position of percentile 12, we use the formula pk equals k times the quantity of n plus 1 all over 100. We use 100 because the percentile divides the distribution into 100 equal parts. Now, by substituting the value of k, which is 12 because we are looking for the location of the percentiles 12. So we have p sub 12 equals 12 times the quantity of 12 plus 1 all over 100, or divide 100. And 12 is already given from our data. The 12 students who took up their statistic quiz. Now, after this, we will be simplifying the equation. So we have p sub 12 equals 12 times the quantity of 12 plus 1 divide 100. Then 12 plus 1 is equal to 13, and p sub 12 equals 12 times 13 divided by 100. So 12 times 13 equals 156, and divide by 100. So we have p sub 12 equals 1.56. Now, applying Mendenhall and Zinsich method, since we are looking for the position of percentile 12, and we all know that percentile 12 is equivalent to 12%, and the 12% is less than 50%. Then this percentile 12 is located at the left side of the distribution. Meaning to say, ang 1.56 na sagot natin ay i-round up natin. Kaya naging 2 na lang ang ating sagot. So the position of percentile 12 is at the second of this quartile. Kung i-interpret naman natin ang ating answer, 12% of these scores are less than or equal to. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, Mathematics Tutorial Totchie Vlog. Thank you so much.